do something with cards. Now, I'm not a card magician, so I don't have those very smooth tricks. I'm doing whatever I can. In a deck of cards, you have a series of 4s. So you have 4 kings. This is a fresh card I just purchased at corner shop.
See you.
So here you have, no, they're not really well organized, but you have the top elite at the top. You have the aces, you have the 4s, the 2s, and they're all organized, orderly. And that's how human beings want their communities to be, where everything is organized and categorized. The issue is human life doesn't work that way. But human beings still have this delusion everything needs to be organized in a categorical variables so that we can control them. Because it is an issue of control that our species has. We want to control. So imagine that these cards are individual human beings, okay? For example, here you have a king, someone at the top. Here you have a queen. They're together. Here you have a jack. A jack is someone of nobility. So a duke, a count, or someone with power. So let's leave that behind. So here you have a 2. Let's say a 2 is someone that works at a supermarket, for example. Just a common employee. And you have a 10. A 10 can be a manager at a bank or someone with a high-paying job. And let's go further. Oh, and here you have... Well, I'll let me keep those 2 apart for a moment. Now let's go further. Now, and here you have another 2. So they have something in common, similar.
Why did you keep the joker apart?
I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
So here you have a 3. A 3 is a bit more advanced than the 3. So the 2 stays with the 2s, the 3 stays with the 3s. You have a 6, even though they're both of the same color. So that's so that's how we also categorize things in terms of skin color, background, all of that. Even though they're from 2 different economic classes, they have something in common. And that's how it goes on and on and on. That's obsession we have as a human species, control. Now, this thing over here, even when you categorize them together, it's still going to be messy. And in reality, when it comes to physical resources, they're all human beings with mortal bodies, and they all die without food, oxygen, and water. And here's another thing. We as social creatures, we need social interaction, because without social interaction, we also get sick and die, literally. So they all need one another, but they hold on to these hierarchical differences just to have a sense of control. Because in practice, when there's conflict, let's say you have 2s over here, they have conflict with one another. If this one kills that one, a 9 can come in and put this one in place. Or so that's how it goes with inequality. For example, let's say you have a jack over here. You have a jack who makes a move. Some from the public goes against it. I can't stand this policy. Then you have someone from nobility retaliating. You have some from the public going against it again. Then it goes on and on and on. And this type of violence is a type of violence that escalates into riots and civil wars that we want to prevent. So we have this illusion going back to categorical hierarchies to make things appear in control. So I'm going to show you how that works out. Let's take all these cards. Let's keep the jokers out. And remember, these are all individual human beings. All have issues. All have things they want to avoid. But they all need to function together as a whole. So let's take them all together. Okay. I'm not a card magician, so this is how it goes. And let's shuffle them together. And the shuffling together of the cards are the tensions, the conflicts, marriage issues, how to raise children, who has the privilege, who gets the jobs, who has sexual access to women. Oh, that's a big point of frustration in the population. Which woman has the best type of men? Another type of sexual frustration amongst women that cause a lot of fights. So they all go off at one another. And before you know it, it's one big mess. You have a manager going off as an employee going off against his father, the father going off against his brother. So yeah, it's all messy, it's all chaotic. And this chaos leads to people losing their minds, which leads to sexual violence, physical violence. So people, once this mess is going on, they want everything to get back to the good old days. So, to get it back to the good old days, there is one method they use, and that's where the jokers come in. Here you have one joker that's colored and another one that's black and white. The black and white is obvious black and white, so there's no color, no joy in it. What happens is that when the community goes through all this psychic tension, they seek for people to unload everything on. Just like the cards fall out of place, that's how they seek to unload on the scapegoats. Now, there are two types of scapegoats categorized. You have the sad one, there's a sad joker, and you have the happy joker. The sad joker is the guy or the girl that's openly violated. They develop mental issues, though to people not want to hang around them. They develop mental issues by being victimized. And once they have mental issues, they malfunction, and that's used against them. So they are the ones who are made to suffer the anger of the community. And then you have the happy joker. The happy joker is the celebrity. He or she is the one who's not allowed to be human, fragile, and needy like everyone else. So they're the victims that are overwhelmed with luxury, with cars, with all other types of luxury transportation. They're overwhelmed with sexual favors in the form of prostitution. They are even allowed to get away with smoking weed, using drugs. So they are overwhelmed with privileges. But why? They're overwhelmed with privileges so that people will see them as the old way of life. And they are taken hostage, so they have to make sure this image is maintained. So the celebrity is a victim who's not allowed to be human, and the plain scapegoat is the one who is trampled upon. So let me pick up the cards. Just like the cards has fallen apart all over the place, that is what happens when society does not find an outlet for their violence. So what I hope to do now, I cannot guarantee that it will succeed, is that I want to symbolize the type of transference of negativity that keeps society together as a unit. And that's not the transference of negativity of everyone dumping on one another, but that's the transference of negativity in which the whole community, let me put this well together, where the whole community turns on the black and white scapegoat, so the playing victim. So everyone now is going to, hold on. So while all the tension is going on, we're going to add in the black and white joker. You see it here? Then the violence begins again. All the fights, all the rivalries, all the blaming here and there. Oh, it goes hard and hard. But it's all against the black and white joker. And then order is restored. People are at ease again. People feel good after taking down the victim. But then they need to justify what just happened, so they come with the happy joker. And the happy joker is placed as the face of the community. That is the politician that people clap for. That is the musician who has become a self-made millionaire despite being sexually abused as a child, for example. This is the victim that gives the illusion that the community is not guilty for not facing themselves. So this one is overwhelmed with luxury, but the other one has disappeared. Nobody knows where he or she is. They probably died of a drug overdoses, or they died in tragic car accidents, or they end up in prison where they're being raped every day, or they have suffered various other tragedies. People feel at ease, and that's all that matters. But I just showed you with these cards, that's what society is. We are conditioned to look up to the happy joker as an example for life. But I'm telling you, the happy joker is a deception. He or she is not happy. It's all a hoax. So if you want to be part of society, this is the code of silence you must agree to. And again, forgive me for not being very quickly with the cards. I'm not a card magician. I did it the best I could. So, you want to be part of society? You want to benefit from the ease and relief of the world? Then you have to agree with the ritual that is pursuing and honoring the happy joker to hide the fact that people are victimizing, brutalizing, raping, scamming, and harming. Oh, where is that fella? Hold on. He should be around here somewhere. And that's another thing with the sad jokers, that often you can't even identify who's really the sad joker, because they're not even allowed to have a voice in society. Only the happy joker gets voice. Oh, here he or she is. This is the reality of society. This is the black magic of the world. So do you want to belong to the world? Or do you want to operate a life in abundance as Christ came to give us? Choose wisely. Be at peace.